Good afternoon and welcome to Water Wednesdays. I'm Dr. Laura Tew. I'm a Marine Sea Grant agent at the Okaloosa and Walton County Extension Office, but I work with our fantastic 4-H agents all the time to help bring some science programming to 4-H. So on Water Wednesday today, we're going to talk about iguanas, pythons, and lionfish. Oh my! That's right, we're going to talk about invasive species. An invasive species is a species that's not native to the area and can cause economic, environmental, or harm to humans by being in the environment. Unfortunately, in Florida, we have a lot of invasive species, and so we've had to learn more about them by using science and then figure out ways that we can deal with them. One invasive species that I work with quite a bit is called the lionfish. I don't know if you've heard about this before, but lionfish is a beautiful aquarium fish native to the Indo-Pacific region, which is over near India, the Philippines, and that area. They're native to coral reefs, and you might have seen them in saltwater aquariums, different places that you have visited. They're very beautiful, but they were introduced by humans into the waters of the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico back in the 1980s. People used to keep saltwater aquariums, and when they were finished with their aquarium, they might just dump those fish in the ocean thinking that's what's best for them. But it's not if that's not their native range. So now when we have a species that we can't take care of anymore, we'll take it to a zoo or other important drop-off area to deal with it. The lionfish has several adaptations that make it a perfect invasive species. Number one, it has these venomous spines. The meat itself is not poisonous, but the spines, about 8 spines up here on top, these 2 spines here at the bottom, and a few down here on the anal fin, all contain a venom that is very harmful to other fish and humans. For scuba divers who have been stung by this fish, they say that it's a terrible, terrible experience. Also, because it's non-native to the area, our native fish do not recognize it as a prey fish, and therefore they don't know that they can eat it, or so they just tend to leave it alone. Nothing's really preying on these. We do find them occasionally in the belly of sharks, but it's very rare. They also reproduce quickly. One female can lay 30,000 eggs 2 times a week. Can you imagine that? How many baby lionfish that means down on the reefs in our coastal waters? And finally, they outcompete our native fish for food. They have huge stomachs that can expand 10 times their normal size, and they eat the same small fish that many of our important sports fish eat. For example, our grouper and our snapper. These guys can outcompete those fish and lead to reduced populations of our important fish. So what are we going to do about it? There's something that you, as a citizen science, can help us do. First off, if you are a scuba diver, which I don't know how many of you are, you can actually hunt lionfish. They hunt lionfish by using spear guns and remove them from the water, because even though their spines are venomous, their meat is delicious. It's white and flaky and very mild, and so this fish can be eaten by humans, and it's very popular. But something maybe that you can do at your age is actually report when you see an invasive species. You can all go to one of my favorite websites, which is called EDDMaps, www.eddmaps.org. This is a website that is sponsored by the Fish and Wildlife Conservation Center, where you can actually report any invasive species in your area. They also have a couple of apps called I've Got One that you can load on your Apple or Android phone to report invasive species in your county. So I'm going to give you a little challenge, a little bit like a treasure hunt. I want you to go to that EDDMaps website, and I want you to find 3 different species that are considered invasive species in the county or a neighboring county to where you live, and I want you to put those species down in the chat box below this video, and then I'll give you a comment back. If you have any questions, just let me know, and I hope to see you again next week on Water Wednesdays.